What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wanted to jump on live today and just kind of share with you guys. I got my number one mentee slash partner now with all these deals and all these units that we've taken down the last year, really. Been doing deals since last January, man.
Last
And
January
we got
1st.
it. Yep. Man, it's been a year. It was a heck of a year last year. But yeah, coming to Birmingham this weekend, man. I'm super excited. January 7th, REI Bootcamp is going to be my first live bootcamp of 2023. I'm super excited as we kind of go into the new year, come into my home away from home, Birmingham, Alabama. And it's going to be really good. We got an A-list speakers, myself gracing the stage. I'm bringing my guy, Tyrone Haggard from Jackson, Mississippi, the redeveloper who redevelops communities. This guy's doing 80 to 100 flips a year. And he's coming to talk about how to lead a successful renovation, the 7 steps that you need to follow. Then we got my man, Gene Boykin, the Go-Getter family, coming to teach everybody how to be the bank. This is the single most pressing strategy that I think people need to learn going into this year. And my goal is to leverage this strategy with the majority of our deals, whether they're on the multifamily side, on the single family side, which is why Gene is coming in. We actually combined our coaching programs in order to incorporate this strategy more for my coaching clients. And so that's going to be a benefit. We're going to have my man, Savon Williams, coming out of Atlanta. That was going to be talking about the business credit and how you can leverage your personal credit to build business credit up as you continue to grow, that's really applicable for any person that's looking to go into business that has the LLC that needs that information. Then last but not least, we have our own Reginald. What you want to go by, man? Reginald today or Reggie?
Hey, my name is Reginald Reynolds, but everybody call me Reggie. So I just let some people say Reggie Reynolds. It don't bother me. So yeah, it's all good. Yeah, man.
What you gonna be talking about, man?
So what now?
What you gonna be talking about?
Oh man, I'm coming in with mindset, baby, because I'm gonna tell you something. The biggest thing about all of this, no matter what you do, whether it's transportation, whether you're in the oil industry, whether you're in retail, whether you're a coach, whether whatever you do, even if you're playing sports, you got to have the proper mindset, which is the most important thing. And that leads me to say with joining your program was the first thing you talk about is about mindset. What do you want to do? I bought a bigger board this year. I had a small board last year where I couldn't fit all my goals I want. And this year I was like, look, I want to line everything up. So I got up there. I got spiritual, family, personal goals, debt goals, credit goals, real estate goals, my podcast goal, my business goal, how much I want to net profit, how much education I want to spend. On the other side, I got what I want to complete this month. And then on my separate piece of paper, I got like what I need to complete this week. So like just really honing in on your goals and being specific, man, and really just trying to reach them, because one thing about it, you always have to deal with the mindset, because it's I think, me personally, it's not a struggle for me for like, I didn't know anything about real estate investing, right?
Okay.
But once I got into your program, it was easy for me to say, okay, let me execute this, hit these numbers, and work hard to get this. But now, 96 doors later, 4 flips later, 2 single family rentals later, it's like, dang, what's next? And then my mind just got elevated to like, oh man, it's time to get more doors, and it's time to start raising money and start a fund. And I actually yesterday, I spoke with a lady that she raised capital on own, and she has an SEC attorney that she referred me that's out of Georgia. So I'm actually meeting Wednesday. We get on the call Wednesday. She kind of telling me how things work and how she runs things and how she set up funds, just getting to know her or whatever and things that nature. So really just taking those steps into talking about getting the fund started, knowing the ins and out, because that stuff has to get is regulated through the SEC and things that nature. And then you're always stretching me, and that's why it's good to have a great coach and mentor, because when we were talking about raising money, I was like, so what you think we should like start for like 500,000? You like, nah, 10 million. I'm like, what? 10 million? I'm like, so it's just mind blowing. So For me, if I raise 2 million this year, I'll be super satisfied. But if we, we get to that 5, get to that 10, that would just be above and beyond. Because like this year, I wanted, 50 doors, and now we're up to 96. So I just think just that mindset put me in a place to like, okay, set your goals, be specific, are they attainable, and things of that nature. Going through that, and then once you complete it, the hardest thing that I was struggling with over the last I would say 60 days is like, all right, next year's coming, which is here. What do you actually want to accomplish? What's the goals? Are they attainable? Are they achievable? You know,
Right.
are you gonna be specific? What are you gonna do to obtain these goals and things of that nature? So yeah, man. So I'm gonna be talking about mindset, man, getting people in that same mind frame that I'm in.
No, that's what's up, man. Because that's that. A lot of people, they kind of go through that process, New Year's resolutions. They're thinking through goals, but a lot of them don't execute. And I think that's one of the things that separate those that are successful from those that don't. They consistently show up. Like you said, you got your goals written right behind you, laid out, multiple facets of your life across the full spectrum. Because I'm a true believer, you can't just go all in on investments and finance. You got to be balanced, whether it's emotional, spiritual, your physical health, and your financial being as well too. That all that rolls in together, man. So when I was sitting back putting this conference together, this boot camp together, I done one virtual. It's like, okay, how do we bring and meet people where they are and give them all the tools? Where we're not just talking about real estate investment, we're talking about the business credit side of it. When we have our roundtable, we're going to talk about just kind of the time management, the day-to-day execution, because everybody's journey is going to be different. Everybody's process, their strategies, their marketing, their outreach, their goals, everybody's going to be different. But still, where we are is, how do you leverage this information to apply it? And that's where wisdom comes in. When you got information, you learn it, you got the knowledge, but wisdom is actually knowing how to apply it directly to your situation. And that's what we want people to walk away with the strategy, with the implementation at the end of the day, that they know what they can go off and do. Then we're going to I never leave people hanging, give them an invitation if they want to work with someone like myself to help them get to their goal faster. Because I truly believe if somebody's consistent, they'll get to where they want to go. It may take them a lot longer. They may make some mistakes that probably cost them a lot of money, potentially, hopefully not. Or they may procrastinate and just drag it out. But versus somebody that say, hey, no kidding, I'm ready to go. I want to do a deal in the next 3-4 months. Then I'm your guy. I'm gonna get you there, and that's the goal. So I'm super excited about this weekend and everything we have laid out, man. So kind of you talked a little bit about one of the goals with 50 units. Actually, no, you started with 50 units, got to 96. So really, is the big goal 2 million, raising $2 million this year?
Man, can you have more than one big goal, or do you have to just?
Of course.
So my big goal for this year, as far as real estate investing, I want 150 doors, and I want to start the fund and raise $2 million. Like,
okay.
Oh, and I would have to say for a 3, just to have a trio, I want to like be the best at underwriting. Like, I think I'm decent, but I think I can be a whole lot better. Like, attending this underwriting class every Saturday that I'm in, I learn each and every time, like, okay, I need to do this, I need to look at this, I need to pay attention to this, just to be more fine-tuned on the underwriting process when it comes to making an offer and knowing where your numbers at. So like I said, I'm decent, but I feel like I can be way better. I feel like those guys that are up there that are like underwriting deals, I want to be like that guy where people trust my word. They see the numbers. It makes sense. And when the banks look at it, it makes sense. And forget the banks. I'm not even just talking about the banks. Like, I'm even talking about like my fund with the investors that's going to invest when I show them what we're doing. So, yeah. So to answer your question, the big goal is definitely the 150 doors this year, starting the fund and raising at least 2 million, at least 2 million.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love it, man.
Let me ask you this, because you know how they say if you have this much money, you got this much about buying power, right? So if you got 2 million, what's the buying power looks like with that?
You got 2 million, and probably now you'll probably be at having to bring about 30% equity to a deal, so 70% loan to value, for the debt. So if you got 2 million, and you can make that go. If you had to put 30% in each deal that you did, then and 2 million, 30% times 3. So you could buy probably between $6 and $7 million worth of real estate.
Okay, got you. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
so if you come in at say 50,000 a door, so 50,000, 6 million. So
No, I
yeah,
see. I
100
definitely.
units. Yeah, so you can definitely, the math works to get to 150 with that type of number.
Yeah. Most definitely, most definitely. And like I said, I think with just having that power of just coming with that down payment and able to give the investors a return on their money, all that piece is kind of what I'm learning. I got a few books that I bought that I showed you the other day. That's another too, with having that mindset of being consistent, just the education. I think the saying is education without execution is just entertainment. Like all
Mm,
the events, you take all the courses, you got 2 or 3 coaches, 2 or 3 mentors, you got all these meetups, but you ain't done nothing. So really
right,
entertainment for you. It's no different than being part of all these different clubs and enjoyments. It really becomes a hobby at that point. What is it called? Analysis paralysis. And
right,
one of the people that's the members of the group, she was explaining how like she's very, and I think there's gifts in that. So there's nothing wrong with analyzing everything to the T, and because you're safer that way, right? And I honestly think that's why you and I make like great partners, because like you're very conservative to the T, where you like, okay, does this work out? Is this safe? Is this, and it makes me feel very confident, because I'd rather say 100 no's and the one yes that we do say,
right,
it's a great deal, right? And so I was telling her, I'm like, listen, at some point you just got to pull the trigger. Like, you got to pull the trigger. Like the small, minute, really, really minute things that don't really make a big difference in the world, or if you do mess up, it's not really that bad. Like, look, let's just execute, get one started, finish it to the end, and then let's get to the next one. And then you can, those little kinks where you messed up at, you can always go back and not make those mistakes again. So I think that what makes us a great team, because you're very conservative. Then you have people like me that's just like a dog on a mission, that's like just trying to get to the bone. He going through the thorns, the thistles. He don't care where he gets scratched up, whatever. He'll handle it later. That I think that's great to a certain extent, because
right,
you still have to have a piece to where you're analyzing and you're watching and you're understanding, like, okay, let me slow down. I want to get a deal done. Yeah, I want these 150 doors, but if the deal doesn't make sense, I mean, I just told you before we got on live that a realtor brought me a 20 unit for $2.2 million, and I was like, nah, dude, like it ain't even worth looking at, like that's 125K a door. And I know it's in a great area, but they're not getting that much rent for a 2 bed, 2 bath. There's no way. So, just understand when to say no. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
yeah. We
Uh,
got one question on Reginald Miller on LinkedIn asked. He said, first of all, he said underwriting is key, and he asked what market you're in.
Alabama, cities, Mobile, Montgomery, and Birmingham,
And Huntsville.
and
If the
Huntsville.
numbers work.
In Huntsville, man, it's a great market. It's just right now it's expensive, man, because they got ranked like what, the #1 place to live in. So
Yeah,
like
they're the
everything
top.
is like, I seen a duplex. I seen a duplex for 330,000 one time. You know what I'm saying? And so like everything's just high right now up there. But it's a great place to live, great market, people buying up there still. But I'm definitely looking at Birmingham, Montgomery area, 40 units or more. I mean, if you bring me a 10 unit, a 20 unit, I'll still look at that. Shoot, if you bring me an 8 unit, I'll look at it. You know what I mean? So yeah, but most definitely.
Yeah, no, and that's the biggest thing that with underwriting, that you gotta have it somewhere on the team, whether it's you personally or a third party that's been validated that you trust that can give you that information that you need to make a decision. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the information, and the more that you know how to do it hands on, and you understand the rationale and the numbers behind the numbers, then it makes you that much more powerful. Like you said, with explaining the deal, with walking through your investors, whereas they understand that you know what's going on, you understand the performer, you understand the different facets of the deal that make it a deal, and the touch points where you can go through and understand where do we assume some risk, where we not assuming risk, in order to get the performance on the back end that we want to achieve for the investors. And so I think that's super critical with the underwriting, to go through and understand it. And I think that's one of the things now, where is that you're being conservative, like you said, kind of with where the numbers and my thought process behind that. Because I know right now, just one of my inner circles, that just the talk right now is that there's some general partnership groups right now that's doing capital calls, and which means they're going back to the limited partners because rates have adjusted on their bridge loans and their negative cash flow, and so they're going back to limited partners asking for more money. And so that's unfortunate, and that's the place that you definitely don't want to be at with the deal. So it's definitely important.
Definitely.
See, Reginald said Eddie Simonet is great at underwriting that Birmingham market. He recently hit 130 doors in that market. Yep. I saw Eddie. Yeah.
Eddie. Big ups to Eddie, man. He's a young guy, man, on the mission as well, man. He's actually not from the United States. I want to say, I don't think he's from the United States, but he came here, got his education, man on the mission. I love his spirit, man. He's still living the duplex that he has, that he's house hacking. So man, he's 100% a great entrepreneur, great business owner. He does syndications, and I want to say he has his own property management company, so he manages all his property. So great guy, man, great guy. Yeah, and young and out there, he's hungry.
No, that's what it takes for sure. And I like the Birmingham market as well too, and some of the other markets. I think that's what a lot of people there with the cash flow is just so great across the state of Alabama, and that's one of the things that if you can get your hands on some newer construction assets that's in the right side of town, for its B, C class properties. Because right now, outside of Huntsville, there's not a lot of new multifamily construction going on across the state. Nope. And when you look at like the CoStar reports and the projections, that there's not a new there right now, the building permits, they're not bringing a whole lot of new, especially affordable housing. Most of the new construction right now is like A class, type of construction. So I think it's a great opportunity in which we're working and kind of going deep across the state of Alabama for that reason.
Exactly.
So I think that's one of the big things that Alabama brings to the forefront is just the affordable housing and being able to get a lot of cash flow, which at the end of the day, when you start looking at like doing joint ventures and buying small apartments, kind of like the strategy that we leverage with like 50 doors and below, whereas that you can come in with a large level of efficiency and purchase these apartments and come in and you can in cash flow that you can refinance once you do the value add and keep them long term and start looking, 10, 15 years down the line and just continue to just bring in that cash flow and own these assets to build that generational wealth over time and all the benefits that come with ownership, which is kind of the ultimate goal. Whereas that now you get that time freedom piece.
Got you. And I also want to say too, for people out there that may not know, we also, outside of our underwriting, we underwrite them ourselves, but we also send to a third party, right? And man, it's kind of crazy because when we underwrite, we're super conservative, right? So we send it to a third party company, and when their numbers are like super phenomenal, right? Like, so basically make us kind of look like we were way too conservative, which is a great thing. So not only do that, but we're looking in locations that are in great area, great job markets, whereas a public street, a Starbucks on the other side, right? Where the properties, we look at the financials and things of, you know, how long the property's been up, you know, long. I mean, we've had tenants that's been in that property for almost 20 whole years, almost as long as the as long as the property's been built. It's crazy. So, and then it's a community that's there. The owners were pretty involved with their tenants and things of that nature. And we was able to bring I was able to connect with a property management company that they manage over 5,000 units between 3 states. And they were able to come in and, you know, I've been working alongside them in a renovation team. And that's another thing with my relationships in Birmingham. You know, I connected, big shouts out to Total Restoration, Brett. I was able to connect with him, but he's working with companies that's doing over 5,000 doors. Well, I'm sorry, not 5,000, 500 to 600 doors for hedge fund companies. So he has the business where he can scale and he can have crews where I think he's telling me he can handle up to like $6 million worth of work at the same time and not feel over leveraged or anything like that with his crews. So it was good, great to connect with him, get his guys in, and we have 3 units that's available. 2 of them are they're done now. I'm going up there Monday to check everything out. And then the last unit, I think it was like one last little material they had to get, and we're going to start leasing them out. And we're talking about rent's going to go up, $150, $200 per unit. So, I mean, it's like a no-brainer. And we was able to get owner financing on most of the doors that we got. And I mean, with a great freaking interest rate, man. And I would tell the people out there that's looking to get in deals, man, try to use some creative financing. You know, try to come at them with the creative financing, the subject to owner financing, things of that nature, just because you can be able to get in on some basically on some cheap money, you know, and then just raise the renovation money, you know, raise that money on the back end. So that's just really important to do now, especially the market that we're switching into.
No, most definitely, man. And I think that's one of the things that it goes fast to go from single family to multifamily. Of course, with the boot camp, we've been talking a lot about a lot of these strategies and more focus on the single family side, but it's all applicable to multifamily. Marketing is marketing. Going direct to owners, going to direct owner. Working with realtors is the same as working with brokers. It's all relationships. And the renovation, you know, you got one house that you're remodeling versus 40, 50 doors that you just got 40 or 50 smaller units, but the components fundamentally each apartment is the same, you know, foundational components that you're going to have in a house. And so once you can do one, you can do the other. It's just scale and mindset, because a lot of people struggle with the mindset in order to make that leap. And so I think that's one of the things that we're talking about. I'm really excited. I have to do some on multifamily later in the year in Birmingham, but that's something that I'm super excited about. Just being able to put the event, my second home with Birmingham, coming there. How fitting is that to kick off the year there? With REI Genius, my real estate investor community that we launched a couple months ago. So that's going. We got phenomenal workshops. Speaking on the multifamily side, we got Yona Weiss coming out tomorrow night talking about cost segregation and just the tax benefits with depreciation that you can accelerate with owning apartment buildings, multifamily, just really across commercial real estate. That benefit is there, and he's talking about that. We got Tate Seamer coming on, I think the 17th. Actually, he's coming on the 11th. He's talking about how he went from 0 to 595 doors in 18 months. We got Bill Ham coming talking about creative financing for multifamily, and that's going to be super because we just talked about creative financing, how we kind of leveraged the deal to put those together on all those units that we got in Montgomery. And then we got another guy coming in just talking about house hacking, which is phenomenal. That's going to be a great for those new investors that's trying to start. That's a great way to start through house hacking. And then our last gentleman that we got, he's coming on the 4th. So this Wednesday, he's going to be talking about tired landlords and the largest transfer of wealth in the United States that's attached to tired landlords, which I'm a true believer in. Most of the houses that we buy are from tired landlords. And so that's the thing. So we got a phenomenal A-list lineup, heavy hitters coming through this whole month. REI Genius. It's a 7-day free trial. Just go to the website on all my social media. You should be able to find the link. If not, shoot me a DM and I'll hook you up. Get your 7-day trial. But man, we're changing the game. we're changing the game. Whereas that we're combining the real estate, what we're gonna call it, forum, the bigger pockets type community. We're bringing in a podcast flavor, and then we're bringing in actionable information through workshops to meet people where they're at in order to help them level up. So I'm super excited about everything that we got going on with the community, with the boot camp that's live in Birmingham, and just everything for this year with the fund that we're going to be launching. That it's going to be fast paced, but I love it. I love it.
Me too.
And the crazy part with all this, we're putting all this together, and I still got my day job. And that's the crazy part. I work so hard, and I ain't gonna say I don't really work hard because I'm like 14 hours away from any of these properties, from any of this stuff. But the cool part about it is that I put in the work the last 7 years now that my day job, my W-2 job looks like my side hustle. From if you look at my social media, I have people comment like, I didn't even know you were still in the military. I thought you were just strictly doing real estate. So that's really cool about it. Oh, we got another. So Reginald said there are a couple owner financing deals we're looking at in Montgomery, looking for a local team there to handle rental 100 to 200 units. Do you have that type of capacity? If so, let's connect.
Hey, hit me up. You can reach out to me. My Instagram is @countthecost_podcast. Yeah, I answer my DMs there pretty regularly. So yeah, just reach out to me there. And yeah, let's connect, man. And that's another thing about the group. Just want to speak on that. The great thing about the group, you not only just got your new investors, your experienced investors. We got some people that do private lending in there. I got a single family home and I wanted the down payment. And I had a young lady that wanted like 12% on her money. She gave me the down payment. I didn't have to come to anything with closing. And I mean, the renovation is getting ready to get started on there next week. And I mean, their rent was like $850 a month, which was, I mean, their rent had been raised in over 6 years, and now they're paying me $1,400 a month. So I mean, it's cash flowing great. And I did that property through owner financing, and I'm only paying that owner 6%, and he's getting paid like $500 a month. So I'm cash flowing really great from that single family. And so yeah, man, I just think get into the group, man. You're not only going to learn and get connected with some great speakers in there. You're going to get Johnny. You're going to be able to ask your questions from Johnny, man, and he's a wealth full of knowledge, man. You got me. There's some people in the group that call me and need help with things. It's an investor, Sassy. Big shouts out to her. She's a realtor out of Philadelphia, and she wants to invest down here. Well, guess what? We're looking at a single family that's a 4-bed, 1-bath. That the ARV, I want to say between 175, 180, 185-ish. And the reason why we say that, because I had a property there as a rental for 1 year, and I just sold that summer for 190. When I bought it, it appraised at the as-is value for 135, and it appraised for 180 over the summer, and I sold it for 190, and it was cash flowing $1,350 a month. So that's a comp, and along with the other comps in that area. So guess what? When you're connected in the group, because I'm the grounds guy down here, and I found the property and she wants to flip it or keep it as a rental, I got the construction team. I got the source to find the deals. I can help manage it for while she's all the way in Philadelphia, being a brand new investor. So she can sleep good at night, right? And not just be one of these contractors out here sending pictures, and you think you're looking at one thing, but it's a picture from a whole different house. And then you realize he's been stealing money from you. You don't have to go through all that, because guess what? You got trustworthy people within the group that's going to help you out. So I'm excited about her, man, getting her first deal. Chantel getting her first deal. Young, he's finishing up. They just finished up the renovation from his deal. He's using the BRRRR strategy. So they're going to be refinancing soon, which he's super excited about that. And he was talking to me about that. Matter of fact, kind of just throw this out here. He was like, man, I used my dad to help me out, to lend me some money. And he was like, I want to give him return his money. What you think? I was like, dude, give him 12%, man. And then he was like, oh, he said, yeah. I said, because guess what? When it's time for you to get your next property, guess who the person you can go to, because he know he gonna make some money over the next 2-3 months? Your dad. So I mean, those are just strategies and things like that you're gonna learn being within the group and part of the community. And it's not like some of these other communities out here where you don't have no involvement. You got calls every week, ain't nothing going on the calls. People can't answer your question. You can't get in touch with the main coach, which Johnny, you can always get in touch with Johnny, email him, DM him, sometimes call him or whatever. So it's a great community and close, tight knit community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Cool, man. I think we talked about a lot tonight. But really just to really push the boot camp for those that's in the Birmingham area. It's definitely gonna be value add. Downtown Birmingham from 9 to 4 this upcoming Saturday. Real estate investing boot camp. We got Tyrone Haggard coming about talking about renovations. We got the bank himself, Gene Boykin, coming, the go-getter family. That's gonna be talking about subject to transactions and becoming the bank. We got Savon Williams talking about business credit, and we got my man Reggie here that's going to be talking mindset and just talking about the mindset shift and transformation that he went through the last 12 months to get to go from no doors to over almost 100 doors total now. Yeah, man.
Literally my first flip, I got on the contract, closed, renovation, and sold it in less than 90 days. First 11 days, got my first house on the contract. March 29th, 2022, I said I wanted 50 doors. I did it less than a year. So, I mean, and to be honest with you, it was all because of the education and just like being consistent and moving forward. So listen, for all the people that don't live in the state of Alabama or close by, listen, plane tickets, listen, if you really want to come and learn, like be a part of, if you just cannot fly out for whatever reason, try to find a way to fly out. I'm not look, I know you probably think I was going somewhere else with it. Look, try to make it out there if you can. But if you can't fly out, you know, for whatever reason, look, get a part of the group. You know, become a part of the group, man, and get connected in the community. 7-day free trial. Would love to see you all there.
Yeah, and then after the 7 days, it's only $27 a month.
Yeah,
I just named 5 events that's happening this month alone. I think we're gonna probably have a couple more. So yeah, it's only $27 a month.
Yeah,
that's a couple cups of coffee at Starbucks. And but yeah, no, it's all good, man. All about adding value to help people. Our goal this year with REI Genius is to help 100 people get their first or next deal done. And so I'm super excited. That's the goal. That's everything that we're marching towards. We're helping more and more people start building generational wealth. So with that, we're gonna sign off. Probably be back on later this week. Y'all have a blessed night. We're out.
Peace.